What if? Hi, 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 hi. Now, what if this is my true voice? Does it make a difference? Does it alter how you compliment my voice? Does it sound normal or does it sound like a little voice? This is what I think. Sometimes assumptions are a bit healthy when done right, but a lot of the times they dim the light. They dim the light on what should have been a great session. It is my true voice. Does it make a difference? Does it alter how
I mean,
compliment
intonation, accent,
voice? Does it
tone,
sound normal? Does it
volume,
sound like a little voice? Because now you're not listening to the
pitch, resonance, mood.
Look at you with those words.
not even
Pitch
this
Yeah,
is what
resonance.
I think.
yeah, well, I learned a thing or two about it
Sometimes
from
assumptions are a bit emotional, healthier when done right. But a lot of the times they dim the light. They dim the light on what should have
you
been
mentioned like
a great session, a
parameters.
great notion, a great topic, a great discussion. But it seems that even with the information presented, it's still on the concept of what that voice really
People
means and
hear your voice, they can tell who you are sometimes.
what if? What if everything? Because now you're not listening to the words I'm saying, you're listening to how they're being said, but not even how they're being said, but how they're being delivered, without the notion of the syllable,
I don't
but
know.
the notion of the air that passed by my
I
larynx.
mean, it's my voice, right? So I've been working on it all my life, right?
Yes.
So, on the one hand, yeah, I do feel connected to it. On the other hand, when it gets me misread, then there's a disconnect, and that can happen again on multi-dimensional parameters.
When you're planting, when you're, if you take care of house plants, if you have a garden, you don't see the immediate reward for your actions, right? You know they need sun, you know they need water, you know they need dirt, and you give them to plants. But with plants, we have decided to trust that they will grow, even though we don't see them growing. Like I water this plant, even though I have never seen it grow with my own eyes. I only can tell that it's growing when after a few weeks I go, oh, it's longer.
My voice is me.
My voice is me.
My voice is not only in singing,
in the world. It is always with me. But it is with me always, and I feel a huge identity from it and with it. My voice is me. My voice is me. My voice is not only in singing, but in the world. It is with me always. Not only in singing, but in the world. My voice is not only in singing, but in the world. My voice is with me always. My voice is me. And I feel a huge identity. My voice is me. And with it. My voice is not only in singing, but in the world. It is with me always. My voice is me. And I feel a huge identity from it. My voice is not only in singing, but in the world. My voice is always. It is with me always, and I feel a huge identity from it. Not only in singing, but in the world. My voice is me. My voice is not only in singing, but in the world. It is with me always, and I feel a huge identity from it and with it.
But remember, you're not going to see right away the connection between doing the practice and moving in the direction of your desires. It's only going to be after you take a step back and after a few months have gone by or even longer that you see the progress that you have made. And this is okay.
What does it mean to inhabit the in-between? It is a place I have dwelt most of my life. I'm not quite black, and I'm not quite white. I'm not quite English, but I was never quite French enough. I often felt like a boy, but I looked like a girl. Maybe I'm gay, and maybe I'm not. It seems in keeping with my experience, then, that even as I settled into something as traditional as opera school, I should be labeled a Zwischenfach. What does that weird word even mean, right?
Zwischenfach.
Zwischenfach, some sort of cheese.
Okay, and what do you think it means?
I'm just gonna say, like, sweeping.
So do you Zwischenfach your floors?
Zwischenfach?
Do you know the word Zwischenfach?
No, I don't know Zwischenfach.
Or is it Zweichenfach?
Yeah, I mean, you say Fischenfach.
Fischen... What? What do you think? What? Say that again?
Zwischenfach. To mean in between two subjects, maybe?
Zwischenfach means peanut butter pizza curse word. Any curse word you want. It sounds like Zwischen, F-U-C-K.
Zwischen means in between something, and Fach means either a subject or like a shelf.
Life is long, and Fach is a social construct.
Just like you're patient with your houseplants, be patient with yourself. Find the way to make this practice a part of your life that is sustainable, that is joyful, that brings you gender euphoria and doesn't detract from your life.
Voice, the audible expression in this context, can function as a component of identity. However, it is a facet of simultaneous individual and cultural expression. Phenomenological voice, the audible expression in this context, can function as a component of identity. However, it is a facet of simultaneous individual and cultural expression. Phenomenological individualistic elements of the self are noted and heard via internal monologue and contribute to the notion of selfhood.
When it comes to voice and identity, it really shows the different levels of how we perceive things and how we piece things in our mind together.
Yet, this phenomenon... Voice, the audible expression in this context, can function as a component of identity. However, it is a facet of simultaneous individual and cultural expression. Phenomenological individualistic elements of the self are noted and heard via internal monologue and contribute to the notion of selfhood. Yet,
we're feeling alienated by this concept or euphoric that depending on how you perceive my voice, how you perceive these little tweaks that are occurring can affect the sound.
This phenomenological expression has the potential to become a culturally constructed phenotype. The audible expression, I don't know if it was recording. Voice. The audible expression in this context can function as a component of identity. However, it is a facet of simultaneous individual and cultural expression. Phenomenological individualistic elements of the self are noted and heard via internal monologue and contribute to the notion of selfhood. Yet, this phenomenological expression has the potential to become a culturally constructed phenotypic marker that can add to the greater cultural whole.
The sound that's within.
Speaking still towards simultaneity, the potential for alienation and inclusion by one's voice is expected as monolithic cultural expressions are non-existent. The feeling of both alienation and euphoria are not entirely Speaking still towards simultaneity, the potential for alienation and inclusion by one's voice is expected as monolithic cultural expressions are non-existent. The feeling of both alienation and euphoria are not entirely Manichaean, but there is room for dialectic as one moves between culturally imbued voiced spaces.
Might even bring you to what profession I may do or bring.
So your body is your resonator, your body is your amplifier, and you're hearing it from inside the amplifier. It's like you're inside the guitar. The rest of us are outside, and we're hearing it outside and inside it, just like you.
Sounds like I guess so when I used to sing in videos, and then I looked at the video, because in my head I thought I sounded so good, but then when I looked at the video, I sounded awful. So awful.
A lot of people come into this thinking they're the exception. They think I'm bad. They think everybody else can do this work, but not me. But I promise you, you're not the exception. You too can do this work. It just might take a little longer than you thought, or the path might be a little more winding than you expected, and that is okay.
I had a lot of doors closed on me because I was always overweight. Even when I was successfully getting higher, I had people telling me all about my weight. And I can guarantee you that if there were slender men for almost all of the roles that I sang, people would have hired them. Maybe it might not even matter if they could sing better. If they were the right color and more slender, more attractive, they would get a shot. Because those things are more important right now. I do not think you can game the process. I think that you need to be honest with yourself, what your gifts are, and what you want to do, and then let them do the judging. Right. Don't you start judging. The whole Fach system, I'm just going to say, its great value is to help organize a company in a German-speaking country.
Right.
With how many singers they need to manage a season. And the only part of that that's of value to a singer is that there's a certain amount of protection when they want to cast you outside your Fach. But there's no more protection for the singer in that moment than there is for the singer in anything else. That if you want to be successful in a house, and the intendant or the head of the Betriebsbüro or whatever comes to you and says, it's not in your Fach, but how would you like to cover Carmen next year? Oh, you'll never have to go on. and you say, well, it's not really, it might be a little, oh, I'm sure you can do it, dear, I've heard your, yeah? So you go, sure. So how protected are you from doing some possible damage to yourself by singing something that's outside your Fach? But of course, every voice is individual. We know very, very well that many people sing roles outside their Fach, and some of them can't sing roles that are in their Fach because it's rather arbitrary. And like everything that's arbitrary or based on averages, it excludes anything that's out of the norm. And in our business, everything that's out of the norm tends to be what's more interesting.
Well, the thing about dark, though, you know, because in timbre terms, it just refers to the spectral centroid being lower.
The thing about dark, though.
It's still this really loaded word. You know, it's too bad that we haven't found a solution for voices that are really good, but kind of not suited to the operas that have already been written in the keys that they were written in.
But then on top of so many other things, we have to deal with issues like inaccessible bathrooms for trans people who might want to participate in singing, inaccessible concert halls, you might say inaccessible stages, people with any kind of limited mobility might not even be able to physically get up onto the stage. Because if you're saying tenors and baritons and basses go stage left, the right word. Then maybe and I point this out every opportunity I get. Why is it that so you really have to say what you mean and mean what you say? In history have been racialized women. People see dark skin and historically they associate it choir. Well, do you mean a men's choir, which would include trans men who might be sopranos and mezzos as well? Or cis men who are sopranos and mezzos. It's really interesting that that's the category that I've been put in myself. To be fearful of using words like testosterone, and that you can see it replicated and estrogen in our actual study. We don't have a name for that, right? We have treble choirs and women's choirs. You know, just put that one trans women, all women things with tenors and baritones. Yeah, I can like new study on the horizon. Say it again. We don't have any word for like gendered attire in choral situations. How many trans people? I love this industry. I love to sing, and I can never see myself doing anything else. Don't get me wrong. I just want to make it better. You know, it's already harmed people of my generation, but I'm not willing to perpetuate this on my students. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hi.
So that's it. I just want you to also know that, like, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you.
What
Life
if?
is long, and Fach is a social construct.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
Now, what if it's my true voice? It's my
And Fach is a social construct.
It's my true voice.
And Fach is a social
What if
construct. And Fach is a social construct.
So that's it.
Fach is a social construct.
Does it alter how
That's it.
Construct.
compliment my
It's a social construct.
Fach is a social construct.
Does it sound normal? Does it sound like a little boy?
Race is a social construct.
Assumptions are irresistible.
This is
am a social construct. I am only disabled if the world is unable.
Do you have any thoughts on voice and identity? What? Voice and identity. I heard you. No.